Here's what you don't understand. The fear of missing out is exactly what makes you miss out. You want to live a joyful life, but you're anxious. You want to be productive, but you're stuck in analysis paralysis and you're actually not getting ahead. So it becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. Now, you need to understand this concept of FOMO a bit deeper, because FOMO, this fear of missing out, is basically you being in this analysis paralysis, you're running in circles and you're overthinking. And now the question is why you're overthinking. And there are a couple of options. I just want to share 3 examples, which are though the actual reason for the FOMO. Because the fear of missing out is a very broad concept. It's like self-esteem, psychology, self-improvement. And there are a lot of videos also here on YouTube where they generally talk about the fear of missing out, but it's actually not helpful. If you look at your own progress a couple of weeks later, you're still having FOMO. And that's because people don't actually take a closer look towards the actual determinants. Here's an example. Maybe you're overthinking so much because you don't have a clear sense of self. Who are you? What are your priorities? What are your values? What do you want? Not existing, really. And that's why it makes sense that you're overthinking and that you're not just running in a direction and you're not just making a decision. No, you have the fear of missing out because you notice if I do this, I might miss out on this opportunity. And it makes sense to not just randomly run in a direction if you don't even know who you are. So it's even a competence that you're having FOMO in the sense. It tells you something's missing. So maybe you don't have a clear sense of self. Maybe you're though just not very confident, and maybe you have a sense of self, but you're a bit insecure about that. And actually you just need to work on your confidence, and you're not trusting in your sense of self. So a lack of trust in yourself, even though you actually know what's the right thing, but you're not trusting really, you're insecure. Interesting, where is this coming from? I'm sure there's a very good reason for that. Or another example, maybe you're overthinking because you're afraid of letting go. Because you need to make a decision, and deciding has always something to do with cutting something off. You're cutting an option away. You're saying no to something. You're letting go of something. And right now you don't want to do this. You want to keep all the options, which is still giving you freedom, right? You have still freedom to have everything. And making a decision takes away freedom. It means to let go of something. Maybe you struggle with that. Interesting. Why would that be? Why would you be afraid to let go of something? What happened? Autobiographically also, in your childhood, in your prior life. Why are you struggling with letting go? I mean, then again, it makes sense that you're having FOMO. You don't really want to make a decision. You don't want to let go of any option. You all want to keep them all. You want to keep the control and gather them all together. Interesting. See, totally different examples. You don't know yourself. You're a bit insecure and trusting in yourself. You're afraid of letting go and make a decision. But those are all potential determinants of why you're overthinking, why you're stuck in this analysis paralysis, and why you have then this FOMO, this fear of missing out. And that's a different approach that you usually see on YouTube when you talk about self-improvement. And that's more the psychological approach of really going deeper into what is behind the fear, if you take a closer look. And that's actually the most productive way to change that. If you're curious and you want to change that, and if you want to work together with me, there's a link below. You can just schedule a free call, then we can just talk about how working together would look like. Independent of that, sit down and feel into this. What is behind this fear of missing out? When did that start? Was that always the case? And I don't believe that, because people don't get born with FOMO. So FOMO is something learned. Where did you learn that? What is behind that? Think about that. And also this idea that FOMO, because you probably have a very negative association with that. Oh, damn, I have the fear of missing out. Why do I have that? You probably put yourself down on that. I shouldn't do that. I should just get on with my life and just make a decision. I think this is even a competence. Because your brain shows you something. There's some reason why you don't want to let go. You don't want to make a decision. You still want to overthink a little bit. There's something stuck. And it's good to know that. So let's take a closer look. Okay, share this video with anybody where you feel like they are stuck, they're in this FOMO loop, they're not making a decision, and this is exactly what's making them miss out on actual things because they're just running in circles. And yeah, like, subscribe, the usual thing, and I'll talk to you soon.